turn off this setting immediately. When you start playing the game, turn off reflection method and global illumination. You will get a 20% FPS boost guaranteed. Well, I got plus 20 FPS, but I was already getting like 80, so close enough. For like, I'll say this game is perfectly fine for 90% of people, like 9 to 5 people that are just come home, play for like 4 hours, maybe 3 hours, maybe 2 hours. Like, they're just playing what they can to have fun, and then they're gonna do it again and just keep doing that loop, which that's perfectly fine. That is what this game's advertised for. That's like the core audience. But when you get players like Tanner, when you get players like me, when you get players like Carrot, we are all people who want to grind this game and want to play it at the highest level, and like are going to be people that are trying to max it out no matter what. Whether that means like getting the best attachments, getting the best skills, getting like whatever. So this video, it definitely isn't for like everyone. I'm going to say that first and foremost, because we're just so fundamentally different. There is no connection pretty much outside the fact that we're playing both the same game. So just first and foremost. Okay. I am going to make this video purely because I don't want other people like me to buy this game. At least not yet. Going to make this just like a Tanner video for Darktide or Carrot video for Payday. This is both great content creators. Tanner's already made a video on why he doesn't like Killing Floor 3 and his opinion about it, which I agree with it pretty much fully. It is. The game, like, it's sold a ton of copies already, which, like, you're good for them. Honestly, that's great. I'm glad that they're making money, but like, it's really this is a thing of, sure, they've sold a ton of copies at the moment, but just because they've sold a ton of copies doesn't mean that they're not just gonna fall in like a few days. Like, literally Payday 3 and Darktide are both examples of this, like insane examples of this. And they've pretty much fallen, like, they've had the exact same thing happen to them. Payday 3 is still in a state that most people would not play this. Even for $9, Payday 3 is not a game people are playing, especially because you have to buy all the DLCs. So in reality, like, the game's, I don't know, 18, 9, so $27 for this entire game. Like, I'm not gonna talk about Payday 3 because it's not a game that I'm currently playing, and I'm not going to play because there's a reason I haven't bought it yet. The Steam reviews right now are currently mixed, which is understandable. The game, like, is there a point of buying this over Killing Floor 2? Not at all. This game is $40 for the base content, which is fine. That's somewhat reasonable. That's pretty reasonable for a horde shooter. But also, Killing Floor 2, a game has very positive reviews, has always been doing well, is $30 for a decent chunk of content. I'll say this. Killing Floor 2 has the problem of the amount of slop being released. It's just like so many weapons and so many things are just way too overpowered that have been released since sense of launch of it, but still a fun game fundamentally. It feels great to play. Like, it's smooth. It feels good. It feels like everything that you're killing, like you shoot a shot, the shot feels good, feels clean, you get good feedback, right? Like, and you can tell when things die too. Like, it's not a thing of like, oh, I'm shooting this thing. Okay, did it die? I don't know. I'm going to keep shooting it. Okay, it's dead. Next up. This game has not changed since the playtest at all. There's literally almost no difference. Some bugs that were in the playtest are now in the game, and some bugs that were in the playtest are now not. I will say the map improvements that they've done are great. They're fine. Okay, let me stay on topic. So let me go over the good first, because I think they did some good. I think there's some good here, which obviously there has to be, right? They made a whole new game. First thing, the weapon customization's pretty cool. I do like the weapon customization. I think it's a good addition. I have always wanted weapon customization in Killing Floor, but obviously it hasn't been a thing. And it's kind of just been like, oh, well, choose what weapon suits you best. So I think the weapon customization's good. Problem with it, why is each attachment I make have some random ability tied to it where I can't get a list of the abilities without either going to the Discord or waiting for someone to make a whole list of this? And by going to the Discord, I mean looking for the people that have already archived all of this from the playtests. Not a huge fan of that. I don't think that, like, I like the system of, yeah, if you upgrade this attachment enough, you can make it do better than other attachments, meaning that you can have a super overpowered gun compared to other people. That's a fine system. I think being able to upgrade your gun over time, great, especially with attachments. But the whole system of there being like attachments' own abilities is so weird, and just like, why? So weird. Anyways, the changes to every monster, I think outside the siren, I really enjoy. The sirens, I don't know how to feel about. Like, they feel fine to play against. I think they're like perfectly fine overall. It's just annoying that their head hitbox moves so much. But that's like, it's fine, I guess. Technically, I don't care enough. They really don't impact my gameplay at all, and I don't imagine even on Hell on Earth it's gonna change. The style change, or well, not really change, but the improvement on the style I like a lot. I like the goriness of everything. I'm not a huge fan of how the Impaler I'm not a huge fan of any of the bosses, really. I think they look fine. But that's really that's it. I think the Impaler looks really stupid for what he is. And it's literally like, shoot the big red spots. Like, that, I don't know. That's just, it's fine. It's for everyone, this is fine. It's just, he looks really dumb for no reason. The Queen Crawler, he's just annoying. Like, it's not fun to fight it. I don't feel like all these bosses, I don't feel like I'm doing anything different between any of them. Ever. Chimera, I think, is like the only one where I'm actually like somewhat paying attention. But even then, it's just like, I'm really not. I'm just not really at all. Also, the fact that the tip screen says executes down play, like, who cares? I don't care. And why does this flesh pound not execute down? Like, bruh. Anywho, But Scrake looks great. I like his looks. Fleshpound looks great. I like his looks. The Meyer zombies, I think, look fine. They're just kind of weird. Like, I get why they exist. It's just weird. Siren, I'm not a huge fan of. Why is her head so big? Husk, I don't know. I think it's a downgrade for the Husk, honestly. It just looks like he's wearing a big metal backpack. Gorefast look great. Floats look terrible. I don't know. I don't think they should have as much of a face as they do, if anything. Or if they do, then why open their throat up so much? I don't know. I'm just nitpicking on the bloats design. It's fine for what it is. Cis look great. I really like how they look. Crawlers look fine. It kind of just looks like a scrotum, to say the least. Crawler larva. I've seen, like, I don't even know if I'm seeing them. They're just not noticeable enough, honestly. Clots look just dumb. I don't like the red eyes, but outside that, I think they look fine. But overall, I think the style looks great. I think it looks fine. The music's obviously good. It's a killing floor game. Why would the music not be good? Okay, time to talk about the bad things, because there's a lot of bad things. So number one is the gunplay. The gunplay is really, 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 really unfun. At least, like, for someone who is probably going to max this game out. Like, why is it that when I shoot with a gun with iron sights, my gun is shooting above where it's shooting? Like, I get it. I get it from, like, maybe a realism perspective or something. But why not just make it so your character moves, like, or your bullets are moving to where your reticle is? Why make it so it's still shooting where the barrel technically would be, or the middle of my screen? Like, why is it still shooting in the middle of my screen? Make it at least follow where the gun is aiming. Because if your reticle is that high up, that should mean that your barrel is also pointed up to where your reticle is. That is not mimicked in the slightest bit. Outside of that, okay, also that bug is, I'll talk about that later. Outside of that, the gunplay is like, once you get a reticle, it literally fully eliminates the iron sight problem. It's so weird. Also, the fact that, like, it doesn't really feel rewarding to even shoot things, or like attempt to shoot things. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I don't feel like I'm getting any feedback at all, and it feels like everything's spongy. Like, I've been only playing on hard, but it feels like every single thing is so spongy. And okay, I'll say this. I've played already 11 hours of every playtest so far. So I've played with this a decent chunk. I know my rank doesn't show it, but still. Played with this a decent chunk, and I played on all the classes, and I still, like, support felt fine. Firebug I wasn't a huge fan of, but I never have been a fan of. Sharpshooter just felt like it didn't feel like, I'm not a huge fan of Sharpshooter, where like you sit still and then shoot your single shot sniper rifle, and like, I'm just not a fan of that. I like DMRs. So her having like one DMR, if I remember correctly, like, I'm not a huge fan of, but I understand that she's not really like her primate. Okay, hold on. Let me move her over to this really quick. Also, there's another bug, but I'll talk about that in a sec. Like this, I know this was a bit better with a reticle, but it's still just like, it has so much recoil for a DMR. This being a quote-unquote sniper is wild to me. I don't know who thought, oh yeah, this is a good sniper. Like, bro. Like, it's not a sniper, bro. It's not even a DMR. This is fine for a semi-auto. I think this is fine. I used it like once in the playtest and I wasn't a huge fan overall. The Samaritan, I do like a lot. I do like the concept of the Samaritan a lot. I think it does its job well. And I think it's like, this is the only reason I'll play sharpshooter. I'll literally run the Samaritan with a commando weapon. Also just, I think her pistol is fine, but like, this is lacking so much power. It's a revolver. It should sound like a revolver. It sounds like I'm shooting a 9mm or 45. That's then just like, why does it not have any weight at all? It should shake my camera more. It should make my character move more. It's literally like I shoot and it goes up a little bit and then it's reset. Like, it has no punch or power in the slightest bit. Cryo grenades, sharpshooter staple. I think they're fine. I don't really care. They're fine. Also, I will say most of the animations in this game, for the weapons at least, look decent. There's some things that I'm just not a huge fan of, but most of them look pretty good. I can't really hate on them at all. Let me change over to, also, you should, like, why is it respawning me fully, bro? Like, why? Makes no sense. Yeah, like, most of these animations look fine. I'm not at all a fan of Commando's pistol, but I'll talk about that later. The crate, I think, is pretty good, actually, for a concept. I think, the reticle is just a little too... It should honestly be placed further back, or I don't know, maybe zoomed in a bit more or something, or make it so that the reticle's red, or like just make it more visible, because right now, like, I'm aiming over a target and you can't see it. You literally are unable to see my reticle. Shotguns, they feel like they have a good amount of oomph, but when I shoot, why does it sound like I'm just like punching something and I'm hearing just the like force of the impact? It should sound like beefier than this. Reloading animation looks fine. I can't really say much about it. I just don't think it sounds very good. I don't think it sounds like it should sound for shoddy, but what am I gonna do? I'm just here to review the game. I don't really understand why support has this. Like, why not just have a demo? Honestly, I would much prefer a demo class. I just don't know. I don't understand why a support class has this. Bone Breaker, I think, is fine. Once again, I think the gunshots just don't sound realistic at all. Like, they don't sound like something even futuristic. Like, sure, I get this is future and future guns have less noise, but still make it sound like I'm actually shooting something powerful. This definitely has better sound design than a decent chunk of other things, but just doesn't sound great. Ifrit's, once again, why is this a support weapon? This is just a weird support weapon. Like, why? Just make it shotguns, bro. You don't gotta change it up. People would be perfectly fine with it. Okay, I'm just gonna do it through here at this point because I'm done going back and forth. The brimstone, I am not a huge fan. Why am I shooting flares at things? Why is it not just a flamethrower? The Firebug had flamethrower 2 times in a row, 2 games in a row, as its starting weapon. Just do the same thing. I'm not a huge fan of this. I think the animations look pretty good on it, but the design just looks weird as hell too. Like, what is this, bro? I do not get it. The Dragon's Breath, I this looks like a weapon that they were like, okay, we need a weapon that we need to make a dragon's breath shotgun. And then someone was like, what if we made it old? Why are we using a shotgun that looks like it's from, I don't even know how long ago, bro. Like, this looks like something you'd see in World War II. Next thing I know, it is pump action. Oh yeah, it is pump action. Oh my god. Yeah, bro. This literally looks like a trench shotgun, bro. Like, why? Why? This does not look futuristic in the slightest bit. Also, why is it designed in the sense of like, oh, it has a flamethrower attachment at the end of the barrel? Just give it dragon's breath rounds, bro. They're a real thing. I know. I'm not going to hate on it too much. I think this has the best shotgun sound design out of anything in reality. It's just, it looks so weird that this is in the game and it looks like it's from World War II or like just out of World War II from like maybe the French. Like, I just don't get it. Animations clean. Like, I'm not gonna, I can't really hate on the animations. Like, they look fine. Oh, I need to actually review the Firebug's pistol as well. I completely forgot she had a different pistol. I can't remember what it is because it's just like so unimportant. Oh, the fire. Why does it have a heat shield that expands out when I reload? It's so weird. Like, is that a heat shield? Yeah, it has to be a heat shield. I don't know. It's just so weird. I am not a huge fan of it. I don't know. It's a fine revolver. Once again, sound design from the sharpshooter revolver. Not a huge fan of that. Okay. Why is this a flamethrower on the third tier weapon? It does fine as a flamethrower. It does its job. Who would have thought flamethrower works fine? I'm not a huge fan of the design of this. Looks a little too like it's trying to be futuristic while also trying to maintain the fact that it's like a flamethrower. Like, I just don't know. This is the weirdest firebug weapon to have not as a DLC. Let's be so real. I get the husk cannon existed and like that was fun. But why do we have the Halo charge cannon, bro? I don't even remember what the Halo weapon's called. But why do we have this? You are playing Firebug. If you're gonna release this, at least either release it at a later date or give a different tier 4 weapon. The design, it really just looks like the Halos. Like, this just purely looks like the Halo weapon. I'm not like, there's nothing I can say about it. Select. Yeah, this guy. Not a fan. Not a fan. I think it's a fine Berserker. I really like the fact that you can customize the Berserker stuff. Weapons with like poison and all that. But like, why? Why? Berserker just feels so bad in this game compared to all the other games. I know with his skills it gets better, especially with Kenko and what else? This one, perfect parries, increasing weapon damage is good. Demon Stance really is a huge help as well. Unyielding is also insane help, especially against the Crawler Lady and the Crawler Queen and the Chimera. It's just like, he does not feel fun to play against most bosses. He feels fun to play against the hordes. Don't get me wrong. because you grapple in, you hit a ton of things. Well, okay, you grapple in, it kills everything, and then you hit a ton of things that are still alive. It's just not. It's not great. It's not great. His Kiba, I think, is fine. I think it's a pretty good design for what it is. I like how it has cleaving attacks only on the light attacks, and then when you do heavies, it's like 2 swings. I like that a lot. The poke, always good, always good. I don't really understand the fact that you can't, like, why can't I do an overhead? I know that's a weird like thought to me. I don't understand why that exists, but that's fine. The bow, I want to like it, and I think it's fine. Like this technically, here's his option to fight the boss. Like, right? But like, why? Why? The bow does this fine. But if I'm playing a melee class, I want to play a melee class, right? I don't know. The bow is fine. I'm not going to hate on it. I think giving Berserker a ranged option is fine. But once again, this is kind of like how Firebug has a charge cannon as her 4th. Give this slot something else. I know this is on release and they're probably going to like add a ton more weapons. But at the same time, if this is the thing that you're releasing first for the class, this should not be the thing that you're releasing. The sound design for it, pretty good though. Like this feels impactful. You shoot and it's like, you feel the momentum going through. The kunai are fine. I don't know. I used them once again, just like it's fine. It does its job. I know you can stab with them. You can change the weapon mode to, knife as well. I think the knife mode's fine. It kind of just is a worse Kiba, I feel like. Especially when you upgrade the Kiba. Ooh, and the last one. These are great. I like the katanas a lot. They feel clean. The animations are clean. Everything's clean. Especially the fact that you can switch them to zappy mode. Very fine. I like it a lot. It does its job well. Still, I don't know, it's just like not very fun to really try to fight any bosses with any of this, to be honest. But either way, it's fine. I can't really hate on Berserker. That was the first thing I maxed out in Killing Floor 2, and Killing Floor 1 I maxed out, what's it called? Support. Medic I really don't like. Mostly because of the fact that you can't shoot med darts to begin with. Well, you couldn't. Okay, now you can. That's good. Yeah, the playtest you couldn't, which was weird. At least for your later on weapons. I felt like the VS11 also you couldn't, which was such a weird thing. The pistol. I actually really like the look of this. This looks like a Luger. A lot of the animations for are smooth. I was a pretty big fan of it. Not a huge fan of the dart tracking and everything. I don't know. They also feel really slow. Yeah, the VS11, I just am not a fan. I upgraded it a decent chunk at the playtest, and it was fine. But, like, when you have a starter weapon like that, it's just not gonna feel good. It doesn't sound... It sounds fine. It just doesn't feel, like, good to shoot. The MP5, or, well, yeah, MP6... Okay, I'm glad that all the weapons now have the thing now, the dart ejector. The MP5 is fine. It does the same exact iron sight thing, so until you get a sight, it's not going to be fine. Gotta know where the middle of your screen is, or use aim assist. The Ghostbusters gun. Very weird. Very, very powerful. At least the last time I tested it. Very, very powerful. Just kind of weird that the medic has that. I get it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's fine. It does its job. I think it is cool for a Ghostbusters weapon, but it's just weird. This is the weirdest weapon. First of all, let me say this. What is this recoil? So I started, okay, let me start an actual like starting point. So I'm starting at this wall. I have somehow ended up fully to the left and super far up. But in between my shots, it's just like, it's going everywhere. I'm trying to pull down and I'm trying to pull down. It's going way too far, even though I'm barely pulling down. When I pull up, it's going down again, then it's going back up again. Just so bad. It's so weird. I had the same problem in playtest. Didn't use this at all. Just feels so weird. I know you can get upgrades for it. I think it feels better with the upgrades, if I remember correctly. I don't care. I do not care enough. Grenade. Wow. It's exactly what you thought it would be. Other classes' grenades do exactly what you think they do. Like, the only one I don't like was the engineers, if I remember correctly. I thought his grenade was so weird. I'm not gonna go all the way back to the firing range just to test. Actually, I will. Why not? Oh my god, how long? 30 minutes already. Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, the bouncing Betty, like, why? It's fine. It's actually fine. I'm not gonna hate on it. I think it's a fine way to do it. It's just weird as hell that that's how the grenade works. Okay, let's go back to Foster because that's the one class I'm playing. Okay, oh yeah. Next we'll talk about the movement because why not? The movement feels way too slow for a killing floor game. Why is it like, why do I feel like a geriatric old man trying to like go to his house after he went out to the park? Like, it's so bad. It's genuinely so bad. These guys are trained and should be able, like, I can't clear a crate in a second. It takes me a whole second to get past one of these, like, man-sized crates. Maybe two people could sit here. Like, bro, it's so slow. The sliding isn't impactful in the slightest bit. Why would I ever slide? It's just not, like, why would I ever slide? The zip lines, they're fine. Honestly, those zip lines are fine. I think they're a decent addition, and I think the way that they balance them is fine. The mob density. So I'm going to have gameplay over this. The mob density on normal is terrible. Genuinely terrible. You want to get peppered every once in a while by 5 mobs? Here you go. It feels so bad. On hard, same exact thing. Hold on. Oh, never mind. Okay. It's just like, there doesn't feel like there's any skill expression with your movement at all. Like occasionally I'll slide just to see if I can get out of things, and usually it works. I think Tanner actually has a couple actually really good videos about Darktide movement, and I wish this game had Darktide movement, or like was close enough to Darktide movement, because Darktide movement feels good and it feels like you can really express your skill with it. But as is right now, like the only impactful thing is dashing, and even then, dashing is wildly inconsistent unless you want to completely rebind your keys to make it so dashing isn't like, so dashing isn't, oh, I was talking about mob density, it doesn't matter. Dashing as is just like feels bad. It feels fine in the sense of like, okay, I can dash, yeah, and I can get out of things, but the dashes as is right now aren't impactful enough. I think you should be able to dash maybe 5 to 10% further. I think then it would be fine. On top of that, the fact that when you start sprinting, sometimes you will inconsistently dash forwards and then sprint is very bad. The fact that the sprint and dash keybind are on the same thing and you can dash forward and then initiate your sprint afterwards, terrible. It's like the best way to be able to mimic this without completely rebinding it is holding W and one of your strafe keys and then pressing shift, and you can exactly feel how it is. Randomly, you'll get a dash when you hold down W and you sprint. I think that's terrible. I don't know why they're the same thing. Do what Darktide does. Make it so I think space is the default bind. That's fine, because it makes a lot of sense. And sure, you probably won't be able to dash forwards anymore, at least consistently, unless you rebind it. But that's fine. Who in their right mind is like, I do it. I'll say this, I do it. But who in their right mind is going to be jumping backwards from a scrake instead of dashing backwards? Like, just rebind it to space and have that as the default bind instead. Mob density, as I was talking about earlier. Mob density has the problem of just like, it never feels like there's enough mobs. In Killing Floor 2, like, you kind of felt like you were getting swarmed at times. In Killing Floor 1, a little bit less. But in Killing Floor 1, also, at the same time, you had the thing of, like, they would spawn pretty much everywhere around you unless you were sitting in a corner. And then if you were, they would kind of slowly flood you. It still wasn't great. Like, I don't think... Killing Floor 1 was fine with it. Killing Floor 2 was much better with it, especially like with the dynamic spawns. But this just feels like it feels like you just see a pack of 7, you kill them, and then you see another pack like super far away, which is not a good thing, especially because of how husks work now with them jetpacking around. Which I think is a fine addition. It's kind of dumb, but it's a fine addition. But like, why? You've completely eliminated husks from being in crowds and shooting through crowds. So now you have to deal with some either airborne or far away threat, which, yeah, gives sharpshooter more of a purpose. But at the same time, why am I gonna care about the guy 5 miles away from me who's shooting projectiles that aren't going to reach me for another 15 seconds? It makes no sense. It genuinely makes no sense. I don't know. Us getting fully eliminated from that like pool of enemy in the crowd really hurts, especially due to the fact of how many husks spawn. I feel like they're the most common enemy outside of, you know, the common enemies. I definitely feel like I see more husks than crawlers, but that's probably just a bias. Specialists and their entire character type perks, they're already fixing this. Still, terrible thing. I don't even know why this was like a thing to begin with. Sure, I understand like, oh, well, it gives uniqueness to the characters. Okay. I don't care. If I want to play a cool looking character, I shouldn't be forced to play the way they want to play. The only exception I have to this is Vermintide. Because with Vermintide, that makes sense thematically and lore-wise. Because, okay, the elf lady that has a bow is going to shoot a bow. So her class perk on her default class is going to be a bow perk. That makes sense. The dwarf guy. The dwarf is going to be a tiny guy that tanks damage. That's generally how dwarves are perceived. Just hard, tanky dudes. Sounds kind of weird. Same thing with Kruber. Kruber, big leader, like leadership style dude. He's a knight. It makes sense that his first class is like a leader. And when you get cleaves, he empowers his friends. Sienna. Sienna, I've never been a fan of, but honestly, her design makes a lot of sense, and I think they did pretty well with Sienna. Spellspire, same thing. Bro is a grumpy old bounty hunter. I like his design a decent chunk. I'm just not a huge fan of like how his default class plays. But like, why would you tie anything to any characters in a game about like expression of yourself outside of the horde shooter aspect? Obviously, Killing Floor 2 and 1 has always been known about like obviously the horde shooter, but expressing yourself as a player. In Killing Floor 1, that was just how good you were at the game. And like, oh yeah, guys, look, I'm using the cool fancy weapons, right? Which obviously was also just like, money. But it was also like, okay, I'm expressing myself as a player and I'm showing everyone like, I'm good at this perk. I'm good at this class. Killing Floor 2, same exact thing, especially with the cosmetics. Like, I am good at this class and I look cool doing it. Killing Floor 3 is, oh, hey guys, we have 6 Fosters. You're probably all going to do just the exact same. And you're never going to remember the guy playing Foster who was a commando. Because they're the same thing. I don't know. It just removes a lot of like the uniqueness of it. Like, it removes the freedom of the players. Sure, it makes the characters unique, but it doesn't make the player unique. It makes it feel like everyone's kind of the same. The hub area is terrible. It's literally 99% of it is open space. You have, what isn't open space in reality? Let's see. The starting room, which is open space, everything outside of the mission terminal and the shooting range. Why are these things like just randomly scattered about too? Like, I guess they're not randomly scattered about, but like, why do I have to run this far just to get to the shooting range just to test out my gun? I don't know. It's just annoying. Like, the hub area shouldn't just be a ton of random junk for no reason. I get it. We're some company that's trying to, you know, fight Horzine and get rid of the big bad, but at the same time, I don't care. I'm here to play the game, bro. The hub area should not like lengthen my time between everything. The fact that there's zip lines in here, cool, but why? I guess it allows people to do things while they wait for other players, I guess. Like, make it like DRG's hub area, where your character gets out of the spawn and he's already at the, mission terminal. With this, I have 5 seconds of walking at minimum from spawn to the mission terminal. Here, let's count it, actually. I'll set a timer in the editing of this. About 8 seconds, I would guess. In DRG, it's 2 seconds. I guarantee you. 2. And then you can immediately go in. Oh, also running up to the VTOL as well. Like, oh, hey, I do not care. Just allow me to play my mission. Especially if I'm on solo. And that will lead me into my next point. The performance is absolutely terrible and abysmal. I will say I'm not running the absolute best PC. I'm running a 2070 Super with a AMD or a Ryzen 7 7800 X3D, which good CPU, not an amazing GPU to handle it. Memory I have 64 gigs of, which doesn't matter. Like, I can run pretty much every other game pretty well. Which most other people probably aren't going to be able to. And the fact that I'm only getting like 80 to 100 FPS, even after I've almost lowered everything too low, is bad. But obviously that's been a point everyone says, like, I'm just adding to the fire at this point. Still, like, why is that a thing even? I just do not get it. Okay, what's next? Talked about that. Z time changes. Okay, I will also put footage over this. Z time changes are not fun at all. I don't feel like. Why make Z time deterministic? Who? Let me phrase it like this. Who said in Killing Floor 1 and 2? Dang, I feel like my Z times are way too inconsistent. I want to make it so that I'm getting less Z times overall, I believe. Someone could easily correct me wrong if I'm wrong, but like, it feels more inconsistent. Even though it's technically consistent, it feels more inconsistent. Even with the suppressor. Why not? Why not do it like this? Just make Z time a thing that is randomly proccing, just like previously. And you can get things to increase the proc chance. Great idea. At least I believe that's how Z time works in KF2. I'll check. Does Z time work in Killing Floor 2? They changed it to a bar and not just made it randomly proccing like it used to. Just make it so that once you get to level 30, you can proc it more often. Like, literally just give every class the same thing that you did in Killing Floor 2, where you get insane Z time buffs, because it's so, like, Z time isn't constant. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of Z time, obviously. Amanda's weapon variety is terrible. Do you want AR that shoots slightly fast? Do you want AR that shoots about the same speed? I just have a fire rate buff on it. Here, I'll do the basic versions of these. So, do you want basic AR? Do you want another AR, but with a little bit more ammo and fire rate? Do you want another AR, but with more damage, but less fire rate? Or do you want a faster Storm Guard? with more ammo. I know it doesn't like it. I've not bought the Knight's Bridge at all because there's no point to even get to that amount of money, especially when you kit out the Scar. Is just like unfathomable. There's just no point. I in one of the playtests I did actually like fully level up the Knight's Bridge and got like a decent amount of attachments for it, but it just felt wasted over the Scar, especially if fully kitted out Scar. This is still missing some attachments obviously, but like 45 rounds of 115 damage, I believe 119. It just feels so much better than the Knight's Bridge. Also big gripe that I have. I don't actually know. Yeah, so why does the Knight's Bridge have like I don't even know what to call it. I would say flechettes, but that's not right. Like, what is that round? Also, why does the Scar have red rounds? What are we loading into this? Blanks? I get that this is like some weird hybrid rifle that has, I don't know, not pistons. Like cores on it. But why? The weapon variety here just feels really bad. The Bloodhound feels fine. I really dislike the design of this. Why is there a charging handle on this? It's so like a charging handle on a pistol. I don't know. It's weird. It's fine at the same time. I'm just not a huge fan of how there's like a massive block coming out of my pistol. Like, this looks so weird. Damage types. Why are they even in the game? There's literally no point in caring about damage types until you get later on. And even then, your damage is going to be so high at that point that it won't matter. I imagine I'm going to eventually, when I'm playing Hell on Earth and I'm like pretty kitted out on everything, that I'm going to have a weapon per boss. So like for Chimera, for Crawler Queen, for Impaler. But why would I care about ammo types any point up until that? I can kill everything easily. It's just not something that makes a lot of sense to me. But at the same time, I don't know. The damage types are just why would I care? Is the real question. Like that's a thing that needed to be asked. The fact that they removed randomly spawning ammo, guns, and armor is wild. Why remove one of the like most fundamental mechanics to living in the end game if you have nothing? I get that they added ammo bags and multi-tools and syringe bags and all of this. But this shouldn't be a thing. What I would like instead is if they added those random things back, but they made these twice as expensive. Because then these would be a guaranteed source of like, oh, hey, here's how to like, or make the ammo bag, syringe bag, and multi-tool twice as expensive, and then run the pulse lure, shock trap, and explosive block to be cheaper. Because then that will give you some utility for the utility things that are like meant to deal with the Zeds themselves. With the syringe bag, that then makes it so, okay, yeah, you're spending a little more, but you get guaranteed more syringes in a game where you have limited healing, even though KF2 and KF1 didn't have that. Same thing with ammo. Ammo is a weird topic as well. Ammo doesn't feel amazing, but also is fine. The multi-tool is a weird one. The fact that there's armor lockers is so weird because I opened it once. I've opened it once so far. So also repairs damaged explosive lock. Why would I care? I don't know. The multi-tool feels very gimmicky, but at the same time, it's fine. I could see doing a run without it, but at the same time, I've only used the multi-tool. I just think the syringe bag and ammo bag are way too much for what they are right now, and what they should do to balance it out is add like universal spawning things like ammo, armor, weapons. Maybe make it so you get like very little armor off of, like, make it so you get like an armor plate and not a full like thing armor, but still have something to have a reason to explore the map. As is right now, you literally have no reason to explore the map other than, oh, the traitor. Why would I care? Sure, yeah, you need to go shoot the cameras and other propaganda. But once I get to the point where I've done all that, what's the point? In Killing Floor 2, you still need to run around and go look for things. No? Like, same thing for Killing Floor 1. If you're in a sticky situation, you need to go look for things. In Killing Floor 3, if you're in a sticky situation, you drop your ammo bag or syringe bag and you're out of it. Or if you're running around with a multi-tool, you go look for a turret. Oh wait, you know where all the turrets are, so what does it matter? I don't know. They should add just like randomly spawning things, but they're probably not going to, which honestly is somewhat reasonable, but still. It would make this game much more enjoyable, because then it would give you a thing to do. The store pricing is insane. Genuinely insane. Are we Fortnite? Like, are we trying to just cash grab as much as we can? I get it. Making money is great. The more money, the better. $15 so I can look like old Foster is wild to me. And oh, I get a Foster bashing a dude's head in. Wait, what? Okay, is that a bug? Ever resourceful Frosty decimates a clot ? S skull with. Bro, okay. I don't think it is, but still. The art looks great, by the way. I want to say that much. Whoever did all the art for like all this, or like, I guess it was probably a ton of different people, but the art on most of these calling cards looks great. These ones with the like impact frames and everything, great, really cool. The hazmat thing as well. This is $1,500 for a hazmat suit, and then a reskin of the same thing. I'm not a huge fan of this. Also, how does this make sense for a hazmat suit? This makes sense for a hazmat suit because they're radioactive. I like the art of this, but I don't know, it's weird. 1,000 for one. Terrible. This is fine. 200, no. This is a terrible skin. Why? Is this worth 500? Not at all. This is not worth $5, I think. Yeah, $5. Is this worth $5? Bro, I'm not even getting it on half the gun. This one's a lot better. This looks way better and is way, like, super well designed. I like the fact that it has decals. I like the fact that it has text. I like how there's a little radiation symbol. I like, there is so much well done with this. But at the same time, this is a flat color and then random decals. No one's buying this. Like, This in total is, we're already up to $40 and then another, so $50. So $55 for all of this. Would you spend $55 on all this? No. And even then, I would never spend $15 for Foster to look like Foster. And even then, he doesn't even look like Foster, bro. Like, it's just so bad. I will also talk about the battle pass. Or supply pass. I think some of this is fine. The free track and everything is fine. The Wolfsbane uniforms are also good looking. I like the red and black look, obviously. And obviously, like, every other game does this free versus like, oh, you need to buy this to own it. Like, okay, I get it. Cool. I don't care. But what is this? Once again, it's only covering up half the skin. Terrible. This has to be one of the worst gun skins, probably known to man. Why would I want bile green as my gun? Maybe my color settings are abysmal because I'm a CS player, but still. It looks green, and if it is yellow, it's still way too, like, it's just not good looking. There's a subset of people that like this, and I'm not gonna hate it. Same thing. This is kind of cool art. I like the comic booky style. Good looking outfit. Cool looking art. I can see people liking it. Same thing with that. Cool thing. Like the stickers and trinkets are all cool. I don't really care. Once again, why would I pay for this? What? This is this is the bare minimum. At least with Mr. Fix-It, bright yellow or green, vomit green. It looks fine. Well, it doesn't look fine. It's all over the gun. This is on half of it. And this is also on half of it. I just don't get it. Why not cover the whole gun? Or make it so that I can choose where it's going on the gun instead. And make it so I can like paint it different colors. Not a huge fan of this, but obviously people like it. All the art looks really good. So I'm not going to hate on it. These people are great artists. So who cares? This looks decent. Anything that's a skull is going to look good though. So once again, another bad skin because it covers up half of the gun. This is pretty cool. This is, I do like the fact that they're trying to go like pretty far out with the cosmetics. Even in season 1. This is just weird. Like, why? I don't know. Someone's definitely going to be rocking that. Like, dude, look, I'm so cool. But I'm not doing that. But once again, I'm not going to hate on it. I think it's fine. Just weird. Once again, cool, good art, good. Someone's going to be rocking that because they absolutely love the Firebug. I'm not. So someone like this. Why are both of these even on only half of the weapon, by the way? Still, once again. Just still like the same uniforms over and over. And that's a weirder looking one, but I won't hate. At this point, I'm just repeating myself. That's even worse. That's actually even worse. What? You could literally do the biohazard skin with this and like put fire decals and like warning symbols. That would look sick. But no, they're not going to. I like this. It looks pretty cool. This looks cool, but it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. Someone that plays MRAM is going to be rocking that. Like, oh, dude, look, I why is this only on half? Why is this only on half? Also, why are the stickers in such weird spots? Like, I just don't get it. Why are they in such bad spots? Why can't I just place it anywhere I want? Cool. It looks good. Whoever did the art for this, good. Same thing. I hate the descriptions for this because, like, oh yeah, we're gonna go game together. Like, bro, you're going to go shoot some zombies. Like, you're gonna go shoot Zeds. Like, you're gonna go shoot bioengineered enemies to try and take over the world. Like, you're not just gonna go out and have a fun time at the arcade. Once again, why didn't they do this with the Heatwave skin? This looks pretty good. But also, it's so bland. Why is it black and orange? Give me more. I want more. I just don't care for any of this. Once again, why only on half? Why does this fire starter have any text on it? And why is it just a duller red? These are pretty cool. Also, why not make it so that it matches the outfit that's going with? I don't know, kind of weird. I think they could have done some like good stuff with that, but I don't care. Obviously, like I said, the store pricing is way too much. Weapon skins, I've already shown you with the whole thing, but like, this is just like so bad. Do you want flat color 1 or do you want digital camo? Okay, that's fine. I like the chromatic blue on this. This looks great. On all the guns, I like it. Why is that the only decent looking skin? And even then, this is literally just, we put bright shiny blue on it. Like, I just don't get it. And why do some weapons just like have no paint on a lot of things? I get like slide, mag, all that. Mags, I can completely understand if they don't color at all. But the rest of this stuff, you could easily paint this. I know. Oh, dude. Jesus. Yeah, the trader voiceovers are terrible. The fact that they don't have the same lady is kind of hurts my soul. I don't know her name, but the same person from Killing Floor 1 and 2. It's just like the new person is so annoying. And it's just trying to be way too much and is way too much. So I muted her immediately. I think on my 4th or 5th mission. I did the same thing in the playtests. It's just not fun listening to someone be like, wow, you really killed that dude. Well, okay. I don't care about you complimenting me mid-mission. If you did the thing like in Killing Floor 1 and 2 where at the end of the round, she's like, oh, wow, you really dealt well with that Scrake. That's great. That's cool. At least she's complimenting me on the thing. She says one line. She doesn't say any more. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. The whole bug reporting is terrible. I do not get it. Why not just make a bug report channel? People already think that there's a bug report channel. Just make one. It's going to be a lot easier for a ton of people to be like, oh, hey, I'm having this bug when they look in the Discord server, which most people are going to be using. Like, it's just so bad. Um, the amount of bugs that I've encountered so far is just like, especially with the bosses. Why are bosses getting stuck midair? Or stuck in random like ceilings and tiles and everything. Chimera, I think, is honestly the bug with, or the boss with the least amount of bugs. And even then, I think I've encountered a couple of bugs from him. What else? What else? What else? Scrake's T-posing is a really prominent issue. There's been a lot of issues that I've had, but I just like keep forgetting them because there's so many. The final thing that I can at least remember is the text chat. Why is there not text chat? And the excuse that I saw earlier, someone had recommended, hey, why not just use the way that Claude text chat is being like done if you are having the problem of crossplay, not like making text chat is hard because of crossplay. Okay, then only enable it for PC players. There's one option. Option 2. Some guy in the Discord said, why not just make it like Claude text chat? The excuse for that was we don't have as much of a team and resources as them, but we'll give the team that feedback. Like, okay, sure, yeah. They probably didn't have more of a team than you guys currently do, all working on text chat at once. They probably had a guy, maybe 2 guys working on text chat, being like, oh, okay, yeah, let's set this up real quick. And probably spent maybe a week bug testing and going through all the problems that could arise with text chat. Even then, why not just provide text chat to only PC players for now and then work on it later? I don't use text chat, obviously. I don't care for text chat, but still, why is it not a thing? That's concerning. The final thing I think I'll talk about is the roadmap. So why release a roadmap and make it seem like the first of all, why make it seem like the quote unquote rearmament update is going to be something that immediately releases, or like it seems like it's going to be a thing on launch. At least that's how I had interpreted it. It's not. Why does it just say quality of life updates and performance improvements? Performance improvements is fine. I'm not gonna hate it, but it's just weird that that's a thing. Like, why even put that as like a, oh yeah, we're going to, like, just throwing a blanket over it and being like, yeah, performance improve. Okay, yeah, if I'm getting 1 more FPS, that's a performance improvement technically, but that's not a good one. Quality of life updates, same thing. What are you gonna do? Just say it. I want to know. Season 2. New specialist. Why are we calling them specialists still? You're going to be decoupling the perks and specialists. Just call them guys. Call them characters. That's what they are. Also, why is this Stalker not out already? Because season 2 is definitely going to be like, whoa, guys, look at us. We're releasing the Stalker when they had shown it already. It's just like, why? Why is that not already a thing in the game? And sure, if there was bugs, then I could understand it. But be so transparent with that. Do not be like, yeah, we're releasing an entirely new set. No, you're not. You are releasing a stalker, bro. You can't see them. That's all they are. The Chimera already does that, bro. He literally goes invis. It's not even as if he's teleporting. Bro just goes invis. The rest of it, new weapons plus mods, that's fine. I would expect them to have new weapons and mods, obviously. Season 3 being... Why is the terminology new enemy? Oh, what are we gonna get? A new boss? Cool. Oh no, but wait. Season 4 says we get a new boss. So what is new enemy? Just a guy? Is it gonna be like, oh, well, Dr. Octavius over here, he's the new big bad. Well, we're gonna be fighting that guy. So he's the new enemy. Like, don't give me that. Outside of that, I don't know. Is this game worth $40 as is? No, not at all. Is this game worth $30? I could see buying it. Is this game worth $25? Yeah, definitely. As is, $40? No, not at all. Never. I would rather buy Killing Floor 2 than this as is right now. Even then, I'd only ever buy Killing Floor 2 on a sale because the game is like, there's so much that you need to buy and pay for that isn't just like, that is it, it's just always overpowered if you want to buy that. I haven't bought anything, so it's not like I really have much of an opinion. But yeah, this game's just not worth $40. It's maybe worth 30, maybe worth 25. But obviously, it's entirely up to you. It's like, you are the consumer, you are the person buying the product. If you are someone that isn't just going to be constantly playing this game, or in the sense of like, you aren't just going to be trying to max everything out as quick as possible, do you feel like $40 is worth a game that kind of feels somewhat early access? I don't know. Is this game worth 30? Yeah. For like the amount of stuff that's probably going to get added, sure. But at the same time, the fact that you can upgrade for another $40 to get the quote unquote elite Nightfall edition, which I don't even know, I don't even remember what it gives you. So you get, hold on, what do you get? You just get season passes, I think. Is that all you get? Surely not. There's no way. So you get a weapon skin and outfits, $20 worth of content. So you get what you pay for and a little bit more. Okay. And this one's a bit better, but at the same time, $40 to get $20 and then $30 over the course of a year. Just wild to me. Wait, what? Oh, never mind. This game, for anyone that would consider themselves close or at like a level that Tanner would play for Darktide, that Carrot would play for Payday 2, that like Pathfinder would play for Killing Floor. I don't know that many Killing Floor YouTubers, sadly, so I'm going off of like a random loose character that I know, but still, just general like big figures in the community that play the game at the max difficulty. If you consider yourself one of those players, do not buy this for now. I think Hell on Earth is a bit better of a gameplay loop, but even then, why does it go from normal, hard, Hell on Earth? It's always gone normal, hard, suicidal, Hell on Earth. Why are we immediately making that gap? Like, we're just immediately jumping that gap. And it even shows with the icons. Why is it going from cyst, gore fast, it's immediately into a fleshbound? Make it go cyst, gore fast, scrake, fleshbound. Either way. Rant done. I imagine a ton of people are going to be like going into the comments like, but I like the game. Yeah, but you're probably not going to be maxing out everything in the first like week, which is some degen activity. But at the same time, that's how I enjoy my games. I want to immediately crank everything out and max everything. If you're playing the game just casually, this video definitely isn't for you. There's literally no point for you to watch this. I'm just complaining about problems like that most people probably aren't going to care enough about to not want to buy the game. If the game looks interesting and you're a casual player, go buy it. This is obviously not a video for you.